discuss the cartilages of the larynx and the various muscles which are attached to the cartilages. You are viewing the larynx from the anterior aspect. This is the anterior view of the larynx and this is the posterior view of the larynx. This white color membrane, first of all you have to notice the cartilage here. This blue color cartilage is actually the cricoid cartilage, and from this cricoid cartilage this white color membrane is ascending up. This white color membrane is actually the thyroid membrane or the conus elasticus. This blue color cartilage is the epiglottis, and if we look from the posterior aspect, you can notice that this whole structure is the epiglottis. These are the aryepiglottic folds, and in the aryepiglottic fold you can notice a thickening here at this point. This thickening is the cuneiform cartilage, and the thickening here, this one is the corniculate cartilage, cuneiform cartilage and corniculate cartilage. Actually you cannot see both of these structures from the naked eye. Actually they are hidden in the thyroepiglottic folds, but here you can notice the corniculate cartilage, but the cuneiform cartilage is actually inside this thyroepiglottic fold. This is the cavity or the entry point into the larynx, the vestibular cavity, and here this median fold is this fold here. Actually this is extending from this the aryepiglottic fold or the epiglottis up to the base of the tongue, and this median fold is the median glossoepiglottic fold, and here this is the lateral glossoepiglottic fold, and between this median glossoepiglottic fold and lateral glossoepiglottic fold you have this cavity. This is known as vallecule. Actually this vallecule is clinically significant because when we are performing the laryngoscopy, the surgeon will put the laryngoscope in this vallecule and it will pull this vallecule or this fold upwards, so he or she can enter into the cavity of the larynx. So this is very important. In order, if you want to enter into the cavity of the larynx, you have to pull it up, this epiglottis. Now going towards the side of this vallecule, you can notice here is another space. This space is known as smuggler's fossa. This is called the smuggler's fossa. Now coming towards the other cartilages, we have this cricoid cartilage. This is the arch of the cricoid, the lamina of the cricoid cartilage, and above this lamina of the cricoid cartilage you can notice this pyramidal shaped cartilage. This is the arytenoid cartilage, and above this arytenoid cartilage these are two thickenings. These are actually the corniculate cartilages. Now the muscles which are attached to these cartilages, first of all you can notice there is a median ridge on the posterior surface of the lamina of the cricoid cartilage, on which the longitudinal fibers of the esophagus are attached. And here on the side you can notice the fossa here. This fossa is actually giving origin to a muscle, and this muscle is known as the posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. It is actually originating from this fossa and it is going to insert on the muscular process of the arytenoid cartilage. On the lateral aspect you can notice another muscle. This is known as the lateral cricoarytenoid muscle. It is actually arising from the superior border of the arch of the cricoid cartilage, and it is again inserting into the muscular process of the arytenoid cartilage. Here you can notice another muscle going up. This is the oblique aryepiglotticus, and this is actually contributing to this aryepiglottic fold. The fibers of this are derived from this muscle. This muscle, the flap fan shaped muscle that is coming from anterior aspect, this is the thyroepiglotticus, and these are the epiglottic fibers of this thyroepiglotticus. This is the inner view of the sagittal section, or you can say the inner view of the larynx, and you can notice that this cartilage was epiglottis that we have previously seen, and this membrane that is extending from the anterior surface of the epiglottis up to the hyoid bone, this membrane is known as the hyoepiglottic ligament or hyoepiglottic membrane. And this pink color is actually the oral mucosa, laryngeal mucosa that is actually covering the quadrangular membrane of the larynx. This pink color mucosa is covering the quadrangular membrane, and this is the inferior free margin of that quadrangular membrane that is forming actually the vestibular ligament, and in this case we will call it the vestibular fold, since it is covered by the laryngeal mucosa. So it is the vestibular fold. And if we move downward, in this model you can clearly make it out, and this actually there is a vocal fold, and actually it is contributed by the conus elasticus. It is actually formed by the anterior upper free margin of the conus elasticus. This membrane, again this is covered by the laryngeal mucosa, but it is actually the conus elasticus. You can notice a muscle that is running on the lateral aspect of the vocal fold. This muscle, this is actually the vocalis muscle. This nerve is actually the recurrent laryngeal nerve. This is ascending up and it is supplying the muscles of the larynx. And one another muscle that you can notice here, this is the vocalis. If you are actually observing this muscle from the inner aspect, this muscle, if you will observe from the outer aspect, this will be running on like this, the lateral margins of the vocal folds. Actually in this section we have cut the vocal folds, the conus elasticus, and if we will cut the conus elasticus, we will actually reach outside the cavity of the larynx, and outside the cavity of the larynx you will find the muscle that is actually vocalis. It is running on the lateral aspect of this the vocal fold. So this is vocalis, and it is all about the larynx. Thank you.